Towards zero deaths is reducing our highway fatalities to zero.
It gets at the idea that every death is preventable.
And that sounds audacious, but when you apply it to your family, your friends, your communities, I think it's a very realistic goal.
Well, it's really a vision for the future, a vision of zero deaths, and it's certainly one that we all know is a difficult goal to meet, but it's certainly something worth trying.
We kill over 30,000 people in our nation every year on our roadways. In fact, in 2012, 33,651 to be an exact number. So the goal is zero. Some people say that's not an attainable goal, but certainly if that one is one of your family members, you would want that number to be zero. So that's the goal, is zero highway deaths nationwide.
There are many efforts that fall under the broad national concept of towards zero deaths. And I know that highway associations, motor vehicle administrations, law enforcement all have roles to play.
Certainly they need to support the highway safety efforts in their states. I would encourage those jurisdictions, if they're not a part of the highway safety committees in their states, to do that.
We're all about saving lives. It's something that we take pride in, something that our employees can really value and invest and see their part in it. And so I think the fact that we can play an integral role in that helps bring it to life. And we're funding safe roads, we're funding engineering changes, all the things that we do with revenue, and then standing at the counter telling that 16-year-old you can't drive, you're not safe yet. Or, even more difficult, telling the 80-year-old you're no longer able to operate safely. But it's tangible things where we save lives by our individual actions, every one of our employees every day.
Certainly we in law enforcement want to partner with the motor vehicle community to reach this goal. So if they're not involved in that activity in their states, I would strongly encourage them to be involved.
When we think about roadway safety, roadway features, vehicle functions within the road, and then the skills and attitudes of the driver, you really can't have one without the other. And so they very much have to be linked in the strategy. And I think when you delve into the pieces of towards zero deaths, you'll see that they are inextricably linked.
People say, well, that's an unrealistic goal, until you put it in terms that make it personal. If it was your father or your mother or your sister or your brother, and I asked you, would you want to see us reach that goal of zero fatalities, you would say absolutely, positively, it's something you need to do.
Again, that's a life. You think about that many people being killed on our nation's highway. I think our attitude has gotten to the point of we accept certain deaths on our highways, and we shouldn't. If that's your mother, or that's your father, or that's your son, or if that's your daughter, that's not an acceptable death. So we need to look at it from a personal standpoint of what is acceptable, and zero is the only number that is truly acceptable.